they're going to put their financials in, and then some rando is going to look it up and be like, oh, I just found the financials of that company.
Yeah.
But that's completely not true, right? All right, welcome to AI for Humans, episode 2. My name's Pat.
Flynn, good to be back, guys.
This week, the big idea that I'm thinking about is privacy. So I spent some time with a couple of exec teams who are very fearful about AI privacy. And this topic comes up a lot, actually. And I reckon people have this idea that, oh, I've got to be careful what I put in the AI. And they're being told, don't put any private data in AI. But I think what they think is going to happen is they're going to put their financials in, and then some rando is going to look it up and be like, oh, I just found the financials of that company.
Yeah.
But that's completely not true, right?
Yeah, I see the exact same issue. Like, people think you put something in ChatGPT and the new intern's going to access the CEO's financials. Like, that's not going to happen, guys.
So what they're talking about is this idea that the public and free models use people's data for training. But one of the things we talk about is all the paid models have really good privacy arrangements. And in fact, the enterprise model's even better. So this week, one of the things we've been doing is helping people move from individual subscriptions to enterprise subscriptions, where you get a bit more control, you can hook into a single sign-on environment, and there's tons more you can do. The big idea that I want to throw out is when you look at the privacy agreement for most of the big LLMs, it's really not much different from, say, Office 365 or Xero. So all my financials are in Xero, but I'm cool with that. But I'm scared of putting a spreadsheet into ChatGPT.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Makes no sense. But let's talk about the enterprise subscription. So doing an organizational-wide subscription opens up all these kind of powerful things. And over the last couple of weeks, we've been putting connectors in our own Claude subscription. I think I talked about the fact that we're obsessing a bit about Claude at the minute.
If you haven't noticed, guys.
I love that, man. So all of a sudden, I saw all this awesome stuff. Tell us about how you did that for us.
Yeah, and even a few weeks ago, so I set up a connector from all of our Claude data to all of our Microsoft 365 data. And you might be saying, oh, but you don't want to access all that private data. But the reality is it's using role-based access. So I can only access in Claude the data I have access to in Microsoft 365. So everything's safe. And from that, we can generate PowerPoints, Word docs, pulling data straight from our Microsoft 365 into Claude.
Yeah, it's awesome. So now I was on the train the other day trying to do some work. I can't upload big documents from there, but I can just point it at our SharePoint and say, hey, find this doc, extract some data from it. It was really cool.
Yeah, and that's also on the point of like context window. Like when you're in Claude, I'm sure everyone's had this before. It says you've run out of tokens or you're done. But with a connector, it only pulls the data you need, so you're not burning through hundreds of dollars of company tokens.
It's really cool. Look, the other thing that I noticed is Claude's just popped up in all my Office apps. And man, it is good. So I was generating a PowerPoint the other day. We wrote a big report for a client. I said, hey, can you turn that into a PowerPoint? And it's like, it blew my mind. And I feel like this is kind of the new news, right?
Yeah.
So 6 months ago, I was asking Copilot to do that for me, and it was producing absolute rubbish. It was horrible. There was no Claude connector, so I was using different tools. And now I'm like, I woke up one morning and boom, Claude's like knocking it out of the park.
Yeah, and even a few months ago, I was using a tool called gamma.ai, the same sort of thing, AI to generate PowerPoints. And like I've already moved to Claude now, which is doing better than that company. It kind of shows you like these multi-million dollar companies like Gamma, they just get consumed by the big guys like Claude, OpenAI within a few months, because those guys can just say, I want that tool, they build it, and it's ready to ship.
Yeah, I feel like that kind of really illustrates the point of the speed the market's moving. And I think it creates like this idea about the risk of buying someone who's just building a connector that's an overlay on one of the tools. The guys kind of wake up one morning and go, I can do that.
Yeah.
It's a bit like, I think about this a lot. Like there used to be a company called Tile. They made Bluetooth key rings. And it was awesome. You could find your key ring. And one day Apple woke up and went, you know what, that's an AirTag. See you later, Tile, and goodbye, Tile.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of the point of why we're here, right? It's moving fast. And I guess one of the big recommendations we'd make for people is, if it's an overlay tool, by all means, enjoy it, use it if it does something new, but maybe don't buy a 5-year subscription because 3 weeks from now it might be obsolete.
Yeah, just the speed all this is moving at, you can see the big companies like Claude, they can build and ship these new features within weeks. So yeah, as you said, Pat, don't invest multi-year subscriptions in these kind of things.
All right, well, that's this week's short episode of AI for Humans. As we always say, this is the fastest moving tech the world's ever seen. Anyone who tells you that they're the expert in it is probably full of crap, because it's moving too fast for anyone to get it right all the time.
Yeah.
We'll show up each week. We'll give you a few things that we're doing. We'll tell you stuff that's maybe moved on. We'd love you to like and subscribe, comment, disagree with us. But otherwise, we'll see you next week. Thanks, Flynn.
Cheers, guys. See ya.